Howdy folks, and welcome to another episode of the Vermont State University College Football Revamped Dynasty here on YouTube. I'm Cody Shalfu, Tisbury, 33 games, and still looking for our first win, 0-8. Don't know if I mentioned it in the previous couple episodes. We did have one game that we had to sim just due to some technical difficulties. I kind of mentioned it if you haven't seen my channel update video. So that's the reason I was editing some stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I mentioned it, but anyway, we are here in week 11. We're taking on Ball State, but first we had to look at some recruiting. So as you notice in that bottom right of your screen, scholarship, we have 4 scholarships left, and that means we got some players: Wesley Sledge, Thomas Holt, Derek Rogers, and Larry Robinson all have committed over the between last episode and this episode. So this recruiting class already has 21 commits, and we have 4 players left to kind of decide on. Right now, I think I have 3 scholarships sent out. Nick Lindsay's one of them. Marcus Bryant and Terrence Harris all have scholarships, which means that Kevin Fleming, Kenny Woods, Cliff Sherman, Donald Britt, Tommy Osborne, and Chris Lacey are all battling for that final scholarship. Let me know in the comments who you would give a scholarship to. I personally am probably leaning probably Kevin Fleming. I think 6'7", 312. I think that's just great size. I think we have some good players up the middle, but I won't attribute a scholarship just yet. But let me just reorder this, and we can kind of look at it in a better light. All right, and I know we said we're not going to do scouting, but my one kind of thing to kind of keep us on our toes, to keep us excited, once a player commits, and usually we get to this stage where it's the end of the year, and we have kind of points to burn, we can start scouting the players who already committed to our team. So we're getting some more information on Vincent Collier. Dan Mosley, we know his pursuit. Now we know his speed's at 65, and his finesse move is at 71, already better than really anyone we have. Rodney Young, a +2 overall, and so far so good. Run blocking, pretty solid. Marshall Brown, another one of these fullbacks, and I know I have a few fullbacks on the roster. We're going to probably play them in either tight end or running back, depending on what we need. Tony Lowe, our top receiver overall wise, he goes up a little bit. You see 66 catching, 73 return. Sydney Handy gets stamina grade, don't really see much there. Lance Kelly already, and we have ourselves probably a gem on our hands. Look at that, +11 overall, and that's just by pass blocking and run blocking, which are fantastic, and he will move up here. Can't wait till next week so we can see a little bit more of him. Andy Tolbert, minus on spin move. Jared Rhodes, play rec at 57, and Wesley Sledge, the man that we got. I know my friend Adam's gonna be excited about that. 62-man coverage, not terrible, not great, but again, all these players are quote-unquote terrible, but they're also quote-unquote great for what we need them for. So again, hopefully we get a commit from Terrence Harris, Marcus Bryant, and who else? Nick Lindsay. Let's just look by position to see who's coming on campus this year. Again, fullback, these are going to be changed to running backs or tight ends, just depending on what we need. We have 3 wide receivers committed, 5 tackles on our board, and we could be getting 2 more, which would make 5 offensive linemen, hopefully 6 offensive linemen, 7, 8 offensive linemen. I think Tommy Osborne's going to be odd man out. I don't think we need that many offensive linemen, but we're probably going to redo our entire offensive line coming up. 2 DNs, 1 D tackle confirmed, another one we can possibly get. 2 linebackers on the outside, 1 still we're in play for. 2 middle linebackers, another one we're still in play for. We have 3 corners committed. Chris Lacey probably won't make it, but Nick Lindsay, we have a scholarship. Hopefully we get 4 new corners. No other defensive backs. We missed out on a kicker. And that is really it. Let's see if anyone is ready for a visit. Looks like Kevin Fleming's ready for a visit, and we will have him come next week against Central Michigan. All right, let's check out our opponent for this week. Actually, before we get into looking at our opponent this week, Ball State, let's kind of look at the top 25 again. Alabama and Texas are your leaders so far. Both Miamis are right there. Again, Miami will high. We won't play them this year. They do have a loss on their record. Let's see who they lost to. This it looks like it was against BYU in overtime, but they have been running through the MAC. They have Central and Eastern Michigan left, and Ball State at the end of things. That's, they're a surprise, and they're a team that could be moved up, and that's a team that we're going to be gunning for in the MAC conference. Auburn, Syracuse doing well. USC, Navy at 8. Oklahoma at 9, and Minnesota at 10. And we'll just kind of scroll down. If you see your favorite team, make sure to pause. If you want to kind of just check it out, we're just going to scroll through. I know some of these higher, more, we'll say, higher prestige teams like an Ole Miss, they're in the SEC, they're 5-3, so that's why they're probably in there. No one dropped out, no additional information on any of these polls, so let us check on the Heisman race. Chris Lewis of Bama, after running for 242 yards and 3 scores against Hawaii, is now find himself at number 1 spot in the Heisman race. Tyrone Douglas, number 2. Eric Buckley sits pat at 3. Chester James, we saw him absolutely demolish us. If he wins, then we can at least say we had a hand at helping the Heisman winner. Almost ran for 200 and threw for 200. And Rob Johnson, scrambler out of Rutgers. The award semifinalists are here. Would be surprised if any of our players make it. Right now we see a bunch of Crimson Tide players at the top of all of these lists, but again, I would be super surprised if anyone's even in the running for anything. Usually in these games, like, you get pretty favorable statistics in the Butkus and the Lombardi, a lot of these defensive awards. You usually win just by being the controlling team, but we're still years away from that. So here's Ball State, and it looks like we're going to have Marcus Valentine, the freshman, starting a very high-rated freshman, 77 overall. Anthony Brown is hurt. We'll check the injury report right before we get into this game. Looks like we're going to get a freshman. Nathan Jones, one of the top running backs in the nation, we're going to have to stop today, or attempt to stop. Jonathan Robinson. Clay Gaddis, a freshman as well, getting a lot of production, but it looks like Robinson with the bulk of it. Looks like one of their top offensive linemen, Ray Hill, is hurt. John Goolsby is the top tackler on the team by quite a big margin. Ryan, and Brian Church, looks like the defensive ends for this team, getting it after it in the run game and also getting after it in the pass game as well. The top 2 pass rushers for them. Maurice Bell, 77 overall senior. He has the top player star. 10 deflections, a few pass interceptions. Any touchdowns for this team? Nope, not yet. And we will just check the injury report before we hop into this game. So here is the Vermont State injury report. DeMarcus Lawson, one of our best players, is out for 2 more weeks. We know about Kamani McDonald, unfortunately out for the season. And Jadon Warren, pulled hamstring, had him out the last couple of games. We'll see. He's questionable for this one. Let's see if he goes. For Ball State, Anthony Brown is listed as probable. We'll see if he goes, if they decide to stick with Valentine or they go with Brown. Brian Williams looks like one of their top tackles, and Ray Hill, their 2 probably starting bookends, both actually 6'6", 291. So here we are in game on today's game, and it's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to do the post commentary. We're just going to talk. We're just going to riff a little bit here about this series. So I think in this video, and I'm recording this a few days after I've recorded and edited this down, but I think I proposed the fact that probably I asked if you want to keep doing the games or just have one kind of simulation video, see how everything ended up, and then just move right into the offseason, get into Season 2 where this team should be a little bit more competitive. First off, before we get to that, I just want to thank you all for sticking with this series. It's gotten some pretty good views. I mean, for a channel that just really that just started, I think this is pretty cool. That, there's about 50 people per video. I know one of my videos has like 200 views. I think that's awesome. I think I would love to keep growing this and see where it gets. So thank you all for watching. Everyone who comments, everyone who likes, everyone who shares, everyone who subscribes. Thank you so much. A lot of big plans here on the channel, and I'm excited to move those into action. Now, like I said, I believe in this video I proposed we could be kind of simming forward, and I already have the next video recorded and edited, and actually it's already rendered and just ready to go whenever I get this episode out. And it'll come out very shortly, and I did simulate, so I did decide to kind of simulate through, and then the next episode after that will be the off season. But I just want to take this time to just ask you guys some questions about the series. What are some things you liked about it? What are some things you don't like about it? Do you want it to be a little bit shorter? Do you want it to be to continue this? Do you want maybe more of a live commentary style? Do you want to see the stats after every video? Now, I use those for the Google Doc, but so again, like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself. So there will be a Google Doc at the end of there will be a Google Doc that I will link to the off-season video, and that's basically a record book. And I basically, after every game, I go down and I keep the stats like it's a real record book. So the most passing yards in a game, the most passing yards in a career, the most passing yards in a season, all that for all the important statistics that I find that are important. It has all the award winners we ever get, and that will be updated after every game, after every season. So if I have that, I think I will. And now usually I've used the stats as the Coach Holmes press conference. I thought that was cool, so I might leave it in just because I remember to use the stats for the Coach Holmes press conference. But any game that I don't have a Coach Holmes press conference, I probably won't show the stats, just get right to the end of the video, and then I think that's a fair compromise. But what are some things you've liked about this series? What are some things you haven't liked about this series? I would just love to know. This is our first time really doing this type of content creation on YouTube. So I'm excited. I've watched a lot, and this is where I'm going to give a lot of shout outs to people that I watch, and the reason why I do this. Mr. Hurricane, huge fan of Mr. Hurricane. Just watched one of his videos earlier. That's the peak. That's exactly my bread and butter. That's what I used to do as a kid. These realistic franchises, dynasties, and that's exactly what he does. And these are basically emulating that. And so that's someone that these videos are made and kind of templated off of. Octagonal Gaming, I got into him this last year. He's awesome. So if you you don't know about him, give him a look. He has this super cool NCAA series that he ties in with this Madden series. He does all the sports games. I'm probably, just for my sanity, only going to do college football, and then maybe probably MLB The Show. I've been wanting to get MLB The Show content out, and I'm probably just going to wait till the new game comes out, maybe experiment with one or two things. Hopefully you've seen the videos I have on the channel about my wish list for franchise, but Octagonal Gaming's awesome. Jersey Born is awesome. I know he sometimes takes breaks from YouTube, he gets burnt out, but he's someone that I could watch a 700 episode series about him. He's funny, he's a good commentator, all that stuff. And he does the realistic stuff. So anyone who really does realistic things of that franchise modes, dynasties, those are the guys that I've watched, and I've watched for years, and something that I'm trying to put out. Another guy I'm going to give a shout out, my boy Therios. If you go on YouTube, type in Therios. He is phenomenal. He's the man. I know him personally, went to college together. He started doing content creation about a year ago, kind of got burnt out on it, but as soon as we were talking, because I knew he did it, and I asked him some questions about it, and he was really itching to get right back into it. So it's awesome how, one day I'll come out with a video, and the next day he'll come out with a video, and we both have these series going on at the same time. We can kind of talk to each other, how we're doing it, all this fun stuff. So give him a follow. He does FIFA content. Also, we'll probably do MLB The Show content, but right now he's doing a FIFA franchise, or however FIFA does. I'm not a football fan in the slightest, but I love that series. I love everything he does. He's very creative, very funny. Check him out as well. But basically, just wanted to sit here and say thank you. Basically, sit here and say y'all are awesome. Y'all are great. This has been fun. Now, I know this season has been tough, and hopefully next year there'll be more entertaining games. It's going to be, again, like I said in one of these episodes, a lot more Eastern Michigan than Ball State. As you see right now, already I'm 35-0. I think I just give up and sim, and we get going. So I think only have... So, like I said, I have this episode. The next episode will be a sim episode. The episode after that will be the off season, which is everyone's favorite time of the year in the franchise gaming community. Everyone loves a good off season. So that's what it's going to be. So I want to thank everyone for sticking around. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon. We'll let live commentary Cody take it over, and everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you. Thank you. Around the country, like we do after every ass beating we get. Miami stays at number 3, beats Duke 31-17. Terrapins at number 11, win against Iowa. UNC goes on the road, scores a touchdown in the 4th to win over UVA and avoid the upset. And as we are loading up here, it seems like Coach Holmes is now level 2, which means we can give him an upgrade. Now, all of our upgrades will go into the recruiting portion. Again, we're going to skip every single upgrade. We're never going to upgrade scouting. So let us see. I think this is the only, if we have to get, that's XP goals, excuse me. I think we have to get 3 lockout before we, so we have to upgrade lockout again. And then these are where things get going. Once we get these extra points, then that's when we start really taking off. It's going to take a while as we have the lowest, basically development time here, the lowest progression for XP on, and we're not really doing much to earn XP. So yeah, I think that's going to do it here for Tisbury 33 games. I'm Cody Shalafu, and again, let me know your thoughts. Should we just simulate the rest of the season, have one video which kind of goes over the last couple of games, or should we kind of just play it out like we have been? I know we kind of simulated the second half of that game. These games just get so tedious and so boring. I don't want to put you all through it, or should we kind of stick it out? So Basically, it would be next episode would be an end of the season, and then the episode after that would be the off season, and then the episode after that would be the first week of season 2 with our new players. So let me know what you want to do down in the description, the comment section below. But speaking of description, make sure to go down there. While you're down there, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure to share this out with anyone who you think might enjoy it. Thank you so much. Again, in the description, check out my Twitter, check out my broadcasting channel, check out the playlist of the series if you missed some episodes, all that fun stuff. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much from Cody Shallofield here from Tuesday 33 Games. A wonderful rest of your day.